नमः विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So as we know, this Bhagavad Gita is widely published all around the world. Lot of people, they are taking interest. They are reading Bhagavad Gita. They're leading their life with the principles of Bhagavad Gita. So what is there in this Bhagavad Gita? What is this Bhagavad Gita? And from where this Bhagavad Gita has come? So I have two questions. One is, what is this Bhagavad Gita? And from where this Bhagavad Gita has appeared, from where this Bhagavad Gita has come. So anyone like to share? कोई शेयर करना चाहेगा कि भगवद गीता क्या है और कहाँ से आई है? हरे कृष्णा.
श्री कृष्ण भगवान ने महाभारत के मैदान में अर्जुन को अर्जुन और कृष्ण भगवान के बीच में जो संवाद हुआ भगवद गीता है और ये सारे वैदिक स्क्रिप्चर्स का एक एसेंस है. सो इट इज लाइक वेरी यूजफुल लाइफ इसमें जो भी मतलब अभी कलयुग में इतना सब उसमें शास्त्र कर सकते हैं गीता को. अच्छा ये सब इसका कंफ्यूजन है.
Your voice is breaking a little bit. हरे कृष्णा.
क्लियर है क्या प्रभु जी? अभी क्लियर है?
हाँ जी, now it's clear. Yes.
ओके. सो मैं वही बोल रहा था कि ये भगवान कृष्ण और अर्जुन के बीच में जो संवाद हुआ महाभारत के मैदान में वो भगवत गीता है आज से 5000 साल पहले. और इससे पहले भी कृष्ण भगवान ने सूर्यदेव विवस्वान को ये गीता का ज्ञान दिया था. तो ये इटरनल नॉलेज है. तो समय बदलता रहे कैसा कुछ भी बदले, लेकिन गीता की जो टीचिंग है वो हमेशा रिलेवेंट रहेंगी, हमेशा फ्रेश रहेंगी, क्योंकि ये इटरनल है. ये कभी भी खत्म नहीं हो सकती. ये वाली जो चीज़ हमेशा वैलिड है. और ये पूरी वैदिक नॉलेज का पूरा एसेंस है. सारे वेदों का, सारे स्क्रिप्चर्स का पूरा एसेंस है इसमें. और ये भगवत गीता एक मैनुअल ऑफ लाइफ है जो जिंदगी के हर मोड़ पर हमें कैसे डील करना है किस सिचुएशन को, वो हमें सिखाती है. तो कैसे हमें ड्युअलिटीज ऑफ लाइफ को डील करना है और कैसे भगवान से हमें कनेक्शन एस्टेब्लिश करना है.
Correct. So yes, as you have rightly said, and someone else, कोई और भी शेयर करना चाहेगा कि भगवद गीता क्या है?
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी.
हरे कृष्णा.
ये भगवद गीता जो है भगवान की वाणी है, लॉर्ड कृष्ण की वाणी है, और इसके सामने सारे ग्रंथ फेल है.
Yes, rightly said. So this, as we can derive from this world, we can understand from Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita से हम समझ सकते हैं भगवत प्लस गीता. Gita means song. And what kind of song it is? Which is spoken by the Lord. जो कि भगवान के द्वारा, स्वयं भगवान कृष्ण के द्वारा ये सॉन्ग जो है सिंग किया गया है, that is Bhagavad Gita. And where this song has been sung, where this instruction, this thing has been spoken, this supreme instruction was given to Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. कहीं ऐसा नहीं जंगलों में या कहीं ऐसी जगह वैसी. On the battlefield of Kurukshetra, this song was spoken, this instruction was spoken to Arjuna. As mentioned, this comes in the Mahabharata. महाभारत में भीष्म पर्व में ये भगवद गीता आता है. From 25th chapter to 42 chapter. It comprises of 18 chapters, and those 18 chapters is known as Bhagavad Gita, which is the essence. ये क्या, हर नॉलेज का, फिलॉसफी का, विजडम का एसेंस है। क्यों? क्योंकि ये भगवान ने स्वयं जो है ये भगवत गीता बोला है। पहले हम समझते हैं कि महाभारत जो ये भगवत गीता बोला गया, महाभारत बैटलफील्ड पे बोला गया। सो व्हाट इज द हिस्ट्री ऑफ दिस महाभारत, हाउ दिस महाभारत हैपेंड, how this this war started? Let us understand first. So during the time of Dwapar Yuga, all the asuras, जो asuras हैं, they started taking birth in the kshatriya families. क्षत्रिय जो families हैं उसमें birth लेना शुरू कर दिया, and by that the burden on the earth increased. जो burden है earth पे वो increase होने लगा, और जो धरा है, पृथ्वी है, she took a form of cow, she approached Brahma, and Brahma, she further approached Vishnu, and Vishnu told, I will appear in my original form to annihilate all these miscreants and to reduce the burden of the dhara. So like that Krishna, he arranged all these leelas pastime. So this Bhagavad Gita, now let us understand about the Pandavas and the Kauravas, कि how their family lineage was, किस तरह से, किस डायनेस्टी में वो आए थे, और किस वजह से, कैसे ये महाभारत युद्ध स्टार्ट हुआ, how it was started. So Brahma had various sons. Out of them, one son name was Atri. Atri Rishi, in that descendant, this Bharat Maharaj, he takes a birth. And later on, after Bharat Maharaj, in the same lineage, there is a Kuru Maharaj who developed the city known as Kurukshetra. And the 13th descendant, 13वां descendant जो है कुरु महाराज का, वो कौन है? शांतनु महाराज. So ये जो शांतनु महाराज है, he ruled that Hastinapur, which is currently known as the area of Delhi. And this Hastinapur was the capital for the entire world. पूरे विश्व का जो है ये कैपिटल था. दिस हस्तिनापुर वाज द कैपिटल. नाउ दिस Shantanu Maharaj, he had two wives. From one wife, which is known as Ganga, he got a son known as Devavrata. And from the another wife, Satyavati, he got two sons known as Chitrangada and Vichitravirya. So after this Devavrata was born, Shantanu Maharaj, he went to forest for hunting. And when he was feeling so thirsty, he went to some lake or river. There he met Satyavati. He was so enchanted by the beauty of Satyavati that he went and proposed, Satyavati, I would like to marry you. Satyavati told, without the consent of my father, I cannot marry. Without my father permission, I cannot marry. You should go to my father first. So he goes to his father, her father, and father says, see, you are a king. We are the lower caste people. And the son of my daughter will be treated as a servant. Whereas the son of Devavrata, from son of your another wife's son, will become the king. Then what is the use? And he being a king, he cannot do injustice to his another son. So he returned morosefully. वहां से दुख होके परेशान होके वापस आ गए. So when he came back, his another son, this Devavrata, he saw that there is some abnormal behavior in my father's code of conducts. He is not able to figure out. He approached various ministers, asked the reason. So minister narrated the entire incident that has happened in the forest. So without any second thought, Devavrata, he approached that fisherman and told, I want your daughter and my father wants to marry her. He said, that cannot happen. He said, why? What is the reason? The reason is my daughter's son will not get a chance to become a king, whereas you will become a king. He said, if that is the case, I'll make sure that your daughter's son will become king, my son will not become a king. He says, what is the guarantee? Your son's sons may become king later on. He said, if that is the case, I will not marry. I take a vow, I will remain brahmachari. मैं पूरे life, I will remain brahmachari. I will not marry. Now, because of this vow, इस वाव, ये जो भीषण वाव, ये जो व्रता लिया है, because of this he is known as Bhishma. This Devrata is known as Bhishma, right? So this Bhishma, he brought back Satyavati, and he got married to Shantanu Maharaj got married to Satyavati. And hearing this thing, that my son has taken this vow of celibacy, he blessed him that you will die at your own desire. तुम अपनी इच्छा से ही तुम्हें मृत्यु प्राप्त होगी. So you will get die on your own desire. Means he gave a benediction. जो वरदान है किसका दिया? इच्छा मृत्यु का वरदान दिया. Now as the time passed, this Chitrangada, he was the elder one. He has grown up. Vichitravirya, he was very young, very small in age. So Chitrangada was challenged by Gandharva Chitrangada. There is one more Chitrangada who is Gandharva. We are like human, so he is the Gandharva. So he challenged this Chitrangada. He told, in this creation there cannot be two Chitrangadas. So let us fight and decide who will remain. So they fought, and this Chitrangada, who is the son of Shantanu Maharaj, he died in that battle. And this Vichitravirya was very small, very young to accept the administration, to accept the kingdom, to rule the kingdom. So Bhishma was ruling kingdom under the instruction of Satyavati. As this Vichitravirya, he grown up, he became little old, marriageable age. So Bhishma, he went to Kashi Raja. Kashi Raja was conducting Swamvara. He was conducting Swamvara for his daughters. Who were they? Ambika and Ambalika. These three daughters of Kashi Raja, he was conducting Swamvara. And this Bhishma kidnapped all three of them. And when he was bringing all these three to the Hastinapur, on the way, Amba told, see, I don't want to marry this Vichitravirya. I am already attracted to Shalva, and I want to marry him. I am already in love with him. So Bhishma said, okay, you can go. He allowed. So she went, she approached to Shalva, and Shalva told, I cannot accept you. मैं आपको accept नहीं कर सकता because you have been kidnapped, you have been touched by another person. Because of that, I cannot accept you. So she became very disturbed. She came back to Bhishma and told, as you have kidnapped me, now you should marry me. He said, no, I cannot marry. I have taken the vow of brahmacharya and I have to follow that vow. I will not marry. He said, because she was knowing that this Bhishma will listen only to his spiritual master. So Amba approached to Parshurama and explained the entire incident. Parshurama said, okay, don't worry, I'll convince him. Parshurama calls Bhishma and asks him, you have to marry this Amba. He said, my dear spiritual master, I cannot marry this Amba because I have taken the vow of brahmacharya. He said, if that is the case, you are denying the orders of your spiritual master, let us fight. Let us fight and let us see. So they fight for days together. बहुत दिनों तक उनका लड़ाई चलता रहा. Parshuram, he understood that this Bhishma cannot be conquered now. So he told, okay, now he gave him blessings that you will continue as a brahmacharya. You will continue your brahmacharya. And this Amba, she performed austerity to kill Bhishma. To kill this Bhishma, she performed austerities. And later on, she took a birth as a son of Draupada, and her gender was transformed, and she became the Shikhandi, who became the cause of Bhishma's death. So now let us come back to this Vichitravirya. He got married to Ambika and Ambalika, and after some point of time, Vichitravirya also died because of his untimely death. Because he was suffering from a disease, he left his body. Now this Satyavati, she approaches Bhishma. See, it is the state of emergency. Now we are not having any prince who can take up the charge, who can continue our dynasty. Better you should get married. You should get married. So Bhishma, he told that, my dear mother, I have taken this vow. I cannot marry. By hearing this, she became angry of Bhishma, that how you cannot marry, how you can deny this. So Bhishma, just a second. Hare Krishna. Yes. So Vichitravirya, he got married to Ambika and Ambalika. He passed away. Then later on, Bhishma suggested to Satyavati that according to scriptures, both Ambika and Ambalika can be impregnated by a qualified saintly person. And this Satyavati, she remembered about Vyasadeva, how she begot a Vyasadeva from Parashar Muni as a son. She invited Vyasadeva, and Vyasadeva impregnated Ambika, and from that Dhritarashtra was born. From Ambalika, Pandu was born, and from the maid servant of Ambika, Vidura was born. So this Dhritarashtra was the eldest one, and he was by birth blind. And because of his blindness, he became incompetent to rule the kingdom. He was not competent. So he developed little enmity towards the Pandu, because he got the right to rule the kingdom, take the charge, all the administration and everything. So as they grown up, this Dhritarashtra and Pandu, they were married to, Dhritarashtra was married to Gandhari, and Pandu was married to Kunti and Madri. Madri, she is the sister of Shalya. This Pandu, he was very busy in administration and all that. He was not able to take out time for himself. So for some time he took a break and he went to his farmhouse. Like many people keep farmhouse. So like that, king was having his own farmhouse. He went there. And on one day, he went to hunting. And from behind the bushes, he heard a sound of a deer. He shoots an arrow. And that arrow got shotted to that deers. That when he sees, that Pandu sees, this deer is not other than Indamana. He is a sage, he is a great sage, none other than Indamana. And this sage of Kindamana and his wife were having union, and this sage, out of angerness, he told that you have killed me in such an awkward position. I curse you that whenever you are going to have a union with your wife, you will also die. When Pandu heard this, he left everything. He left his kingdom. He left everything, and over kingdom to the Dhritarashtra, and he came to forest. And his wives also, they followed forest. They came to forest, and this Pandu, he was lamenting that I am not able to have the son who can continue this dynasty lineage. So Kunti Maharani, she remembered the blessings, the benediction of Dhruv Maharaj that he gave when he visited Kunti Bhoja. So what was that benediction? When this Kunti Maharani, she chants the mantra and meditate upon some demigod, she will be blessed with a son of that same quality of that demigod. So she shared this secret to Pandu, and under the instruction of Pandu, with the guidance of Pandu's this thing, she meditated upon Dharmaraja. So from Dharmaraja, Yudhishthira was born. And as soon as Yudhishthira was born and this news reaches to Gandhari, she felt envious that I am not able to give birth. Even though I am pregnant, I have not given birth. She hits her stomach, belly, and from that, flesh falls out. Flesh comes out. And Vyasadeva, he divided that flesh into 100 parts. And one remaining part, he makes he keeps in another pot. So all these 100 pots and one small part he keeps in another pot. So gradually, Duryodhana and all the Kauravas were born, and from that remaining part, the sister of Kauravas were born, that is Dushala. And during the time of this Duryodhana, Bhima also took birth. Both took birth almost same time. Kunti, she meditated upon Vayudev, and Bhima was born. Later on, Kunti, she meditated upon Indra, the king of the heaven. She got Arjuna as a son. Pandu told, please share this mantra to Madri also. So Madri also got the mantra. She meditated upon Ashwani Kumara. She got Nakul and Sahadeva. Now they were in forest. They were happily living, all the family members. They were enjoying. One day, Madri, she went to bring the water. And when she was returning back, Pandu saw Madri. He got agitated. He got tempted to enjoy Madri, to have a union with Madri. And even though Madri resisted, reminded of the curse, he could not able to control himself. And as soon as he tried to have a union, he also gave up his body. So Madri, she called out for help. Kunti comes, Kunti arrives. Madri tells, please take care of my children and let me give up my body along with my husband, because I am the cause of my husband's deaths. So let me give up my body. What is the use of living? So Bhishma, when he heard this news that Pandu and Madri, they died, he immediately sent his people to bring Kunti and all the Pandavas back to the palace. And as soon as all these Pandavas, son of Pandu, they arrives, and Kunti arrives, Duryodhana become very envious. He become very disturbed. Now I have to share the kingdom. They have come. What kind of people? So Duryodhana was feeling that enviousness. And under the care of Dhritarashtra, all the Pandavas were grown up, and they were sent to Gurukul, and they were trained in various military art and all that. And as Yudhishthira Maharaj became eligible to rule the kingdom, Bhishma approached Dhritarashtra. Bhishma says, now you should hand over the kingdom to the Yudhishthira, because he is the eldest one and he is the right person to rule the kingdom. Dhritarashtra, out of enviousness and resistance that my son Duryodhana will lose the chance to rule the kingdom, he denies. I cannot do. Bhishma, he says, okay, you cannot give your kingdom, so do one thing, you divide the kingdom. Give some portion to Pandavas and Duryodhana both. So what Dhritarashtra did, he gave the barren, most abundant land of his kingdom to the Pandavas. And by the grace of Krishna, they developed that barren land to a very beautiful city, very beautiful kingdom, which is known as Indraprastha. They developed that. Maharaja Yudhishthira, he conducted Rajsu Yagna, and all the relatives, various kings from the different part of the world, they were invited. And this Duryodhana, when he saw Indraprastha city, the kingdom, the palace, he got enchanted. He again felt very envious. They are having very beautiful kingdom than my kingdom. He approached Shakuni, his mama, his uncle, and request him, I want this Indraprastha. I want this kingdom. So all three, Karna, Duryodhana and Shakuni, they approached Dhritarashtra and convinced them that let us invite these Pandavas and let us have a match of gambling. That invitation was sent, and this Yudhishthira Maharaj was not at all willing to participate in this gambling. So Shakuni says, when a Kshatriya is challenged, he cannot escape, cannot overcome that challenge. He should not do this. So unwillingly, Yudhishthira Maharaj, he took part in gambling. And from this Kauravas side, Shakuni, as we know, Shakuni, he took a part. He played on behalf of Duryodhana. And he was having very mysterious dice, which can be manipulated with his mind power. So one after another, Yudhishthira Maharaj started losing his possessions. He lost his weapons, he lost his opulence, his treasury, his kingdom, his various chariots, cows, one after another, one by one brother, he started losing. Then he gambled himself. He lost himself. Then Shakuni says, still you have one more thing. A very important thing with you, valuable thing. And this time, if you gamble, you have a chance to get back your entire kingdom. Or you'll get that chance. So he asked, what is that? So he told Draupadi. So he gambled Draupadi, also Yudhishthira Maharaj. And as usual, Draupadi was also lost. Then Duryodhana immediately sent his messenger to bring the Draupadi to the assembly. She refused. Then Dusasana himself, he came and brought the Draupadi by dragging. And Karna, he was holding the grudge against Draupadi. Because Draupadi, she denied in the Swayamvara that I don't want to marry this Sutaputra. So Draupadi, that Karna, he told that she is a wife of 5 husbands. So let us also enjoy what is there, what is wrong. She is not having that chastity, what is wrong. Let us also enjoy. So let us take out her sari and let us enjoy her beauty. He ordered Dushasana. So Draupadi, Dusasana started removing the sari. Draupadi, she also started approaching everyone who were seated there. Dhritarashtra, Bhishma, Drona, her husbands, everyone she approached. Nobody came forward to help. She tried herself, was not able to protect. At last, she called out for Krishna. Hey Krishna, Damodara, Govinda, please protect me. And Krishna, who was seated in the Dwarka, immediately helped her by supplying the unlimited sari. So if we see in our life also, we spend our entire life by approaching various things, materialistic things like wealth, name, fame, position, All these things we approach, but none of these things can help us. All these are asat sinya. When there is a need, these things will not help. What will help? Krishna will help. Krishna's message, Krishna's holy name is the only help that we can get. So it's very important for all the devotees, for all of us to understand that Krishna is the only help that can save us. So now this Bhishma, he could not tolerate the insult to his wife. He immediately got up. He took a vow that Dusasana, I'll drink your blood. On a right time, I'll tear apart your chest and I'll drink your blood. And to Duryodhana, he tells, I'll destroy your this thighs. मैं तुम्हारी जो thighs है, मैं destroy कर दूँगा. On this lap you have made Draupadi, asked Draupadi to sit. So when he took this vow, Dhritarashtra started observing various ill omens. और सारा जो ill omens means अशुभ चीजें देखना धृतराष्ट्र ने शुरू कर दिया. So this Vidura, he approach and he tells, now war is inevitable. If you want to save your dynasty, return them all the things you have the time to save. Otherwise, your dynasty will be destroyed. So Dhritarashtra, he called for Draupadi and tells, please ask me. I want to give you benediction. Draupadi, she asked her husband, and like that, Draupadi asked everything, and they got entire their kingdom back, and they returned back to their kingdom. Duryodhana, he felt very uncomfortable. He felt as though some injustice has happened to him. His all labor, what hard work he has done, what planning he has done, everything is failed. So he goes to his father, Dhritarashtra, and he says that it is an injustice to us that has happened in your kingdom. That we want everything, you have given them everything back, returned. And what is the use of this gambling match? You are unfair to us. So he suggested, now let us have one more time gambling match, and this time only once we'll play, and whoever wins, that will remain in this kingdom, and another party who loses, they will go to the forest. Dhritarashtra said, okay, with the consent of Dhritarashtra. Pandavas were again invited for gambling, and unwillingly this time again Yudhishthira Maharaj, he gambled, he plays, and as usual he lost the game. And what was the condition? They will be sent to the forest for 12 years and 1 year as an incognito, Agyatavas. In that 1 year, if another party is able to search them out, figure them out where they are, who they are, and all that, they will be again sent for another cycle of 12 years plus 1 year as an incognito. But by the grace of Krishna, they were able to hidden themselves properly in the Virata kingdom, and 13 years was over. And Yudhishthira Maharaj, he was waiting that somebody will come and our kingdom will be returned to us. He was waiting for that moment, but that was not happened. So Yudhishthira Maharaj, he sent an messenger. Message was conveyed, but Duryodhana, he denied. Then Krishna, he became a messenger. He went and he asked for the kingdom. Again, Duryodhana told, I will not return the kingdom. Then Krishna says, okay, give us just 5 villages for the 5 Pandavas. Duryodhana again denied. What to speak of 5 villages? I will not give the land which can be held up by the point of the needle. I will not give that much land. So Duryodhana, he immediately ordered to arrest Krishna, arrest this Mayavi, arrest this cowherd boy. Krishna shown his Virata Rupa. When he shown his Virata Rupa, he left the assembly, and like this, war became inevitable. Both the parties, they started taking alliance, seeking alliance from various kings around the world, and Duryodhana and Arjun both went. Krishna approaches Krishna, and Krishna already declared that I am not going to take up the weapon, I am not going to fight. I will only just act as a advisor or counselor. On another hand, my army is there, and one side I am there. So Duryodhana and this Arjuna, both they approached Krishna. First, Arjuna, he asked that I want you only, Krishna. I don't want your army, I want you. Duryodhana, he felt very nice. Oh, what kind of fool he is. He has a nice chance to get the army who is undefeatable. This Narayani Sena cannot be defeated by anyone. That chance he lost. What kind of fool he is. Okay, so he is very diplomat. He said, okay, I will manage with your army then. So like that, he happily returned back. So here, if you see, one more thing is very important to observe for all of us. Even though Duryodhana wanted to attack Krishna and arrest him, Krishna didn't hold any grudge. He says in Bhagavad Gita, Sammoham sarva bhutanam. I am equal to everyone. I am not impartial. Krishna being a god, he is not impartial. He is equal to everyone. So that quality of Krishna we can see here. Now Duryodhana, he returned to Hastinapur, and Pandavas, they all started seeking various alliances. He approached Shalya. Shalya also agreed. When Shalya was coming to join them, Duryodhana sent his army, greet the Shalya. And Shalya he thought it's an army of Yudhishthira. He told, okay, I'll join your king. Go and tell your king I am ready to join. So when this Shalya was brought in front of the king, he saw it's Duryodhana. What a mistake I have done. I have given my commitment to this Duryodhana. So being a Kshatriya, I cannot take my words back. I have to fight with Duryodhana. So this Shalya is also a very expert chariot driver, just like Krishna. So we'll see later how in Mahabharata it comes very nicely. Shalya, he drives the chariot of Karna. Now this Vyasa, when both the parties were assembled at the Kurukshetra, Vyasadeva, he arrives to the assembly of the Dhritarashtra, and he asks him, let me give you the divine vision so that you can witness this war, you can see yourself. But Dhritarashtra, he denies and asked, Sanjay, better you take this divine vision, you will inform me about this, all the happenings which are happening in this Mahabharata battlefield. So this is the entire background you can understand about Mahabharata, how it happens, what was the reasons, how wickedness of Duryodhana led to this war, and how this Dhritarashtra, even though again and again informed by Bhishma and Vidura, he neglected their advice, and it being so much affected to Duryodhana, this war became inevitable. So later on, we'll understand the unique position of Bhagavad Gita. It is the position of Bhagavad Gita in the scriptures, and why it is so relevant in today's world, that we'll understand. If anyone has any question, please feel free to ask. We'll take the questions. There is one question in the chat box, whether it took 2 hours for narrative of Bhagavad Gita on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. So this Bhagavad Gita, it took just 40 to 45 minutes in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. That Samvada between Krishna and Arjuna just took 40 to 45 minutes. That's all. For that much time, only in the beginning of war, this conversation happened. So that we will understand how this conversation happened, what all Krishna spoke and Arjuna spoke, and how it went. That also will gradually understand this thing. If anyone has any question, we can take up.